Daria pays the taxi and walks into Berlin's sparkling new Brandenburg International Airport. The ticket they've booked for her is with Air France, a flight that will get her to New York in the afternoon. But she has always been fast, always rushed ahead with things. It's a little touch of panic, she thinks, and takes a deep breath. She could change the ticket, get into JFK earlier. There's a Lufthansa flight. She could gain some hours. It would be more effective. So she moves the ticket, even though it means a 2-hour wait. It's also one less airport through which she will have to pass. There's a €200 penalty, but since she's swapping 2 first-class tickets, it gets waived. Macht nicht. Nobody has to know. There's no one who's meeting her on the other side, so everything's cool, as they say in America. She endures the lines, the security procedures, the metal detectors, pat-downs, body scans, and repeated requests to discard all her liquids. She has displayed her passport, she has checked her baggage, and having complied with all requests and requirements, gets to the gate with plenty of time to kill. Her choices, her hair, clothes, and makeup, have not been entirely her own, and have been made quickly, but she is satisfied with the overall presentation. Dress like everyone else, Daria, she has been instructed. Wear something comfortable, and, this last she thinks is almost funny, remember to take good care of your health. The whole morning has been like one extended shock treatment, everything moving fast, and having exchanged the ticket, she feels like she's a little more in control. Giving in to her nervousness, she ambles around, from gift shop to newsstand, stares at rows of candy bars, memorabilia, T-shirts with German colors, not really seeing anything, but turning her face away, still looking for a place to hide. She's still doing that, she thinks. She's still a child, deep down, too easily lulled by novelties, still realizing the meaning of things long after they've occurred, distracted sometimes like any young person, and missing clues that should have been obvious. She had been telephoned for a medical interview, given instructions to taxi halfway across Rome to have a little place scratched on her shoulder and a droplet of vaccine placed on it. An inoculazione, the nurse called it. It was the woman's first in 20 years of nursing. An older nurse was helping her by looking in on the procedure. "You're traveling soon?" she asked Daria. "To Brazil, to visit my fiancé," she says without hesitation, and the 2 women laugh. She leaves with instructions not to scratch or pick at the scab that forms. Afterwards there will be a scar, like actors had in the old movies, and the older nurse laughs. At the time, it all went right over her head. It was a strange afternoon, and this is what it meant. And she hadn't even noticed because, of course, she was going out and was already planning her night. But everything is different now. Everything happening suddenly, and now she's scared. Of course she is, and ashamed of her fear, trying to turn her back on everything. She wills herself to calm down, takes long, slow, deep breaths as she scans the newspapers and magazine racks, looking for a clue. Why now? Why is she preparing to board this plane on this particular day? It's late in September. There's no special anniversary to celebrate. No great atrocity, assassination, or coup d'etat that must be avenged today. There are governments on the verge of chaos all over the world. Too many places where the armies have come into the streets. So, why is today the day she must go? She cannot figure it out. Finds her way back to a mostly empty section of seats, an island of solitude where she can close her eyes. She gets the iPod Nano out of her bag, plugs in some long trance that reduces the world to a windy silence, and transforms her into a tired passenger at the start of a long day, like everyone else.